Well, good morning and welcome to our second Virtual Employee of the Month ceremony. We're here today to honor employees for the month of February who have demonstrated extraordinary performance, commitment, and accomplishment. Our first Operations Employee of the Month for February goes to Donald Lax. Donald is a city park worker assigned to Washington Square Park in Manhattan. Donald is responsible for cleaning and maintaining a wide variety of park elements, including comfort stations, fences, and playground equipment. His recent mastery in the art of pressure washing has transformed every square foot of his park, from its endless benches to its revered monuments. Donald's proficiency provided valuable assistance to the monument crew at a time when parks experienced a sharp increase in graffiti. Over the course of one summer month in 2020, more graffiti was discovered than all of 2019. His efforts allowed monuments to focus on more fragile structures, such as the iconic arch. Donald is an excellent communicator and follows up on directives. He is always interested in acquiring new skills and techniques so he can better support his coworkers and his supervisor, and is currently learning the park's inspection program. Donald loves music and interacting with more interesting patrons who frequent the park, and for him, working for parks brings him fond childhood memories of playing and swimming in his neighborhood parks, such as St. Nicholas, Central Park, and Jackie Robinson. For his tireless efforts, Donald was nominated by Regional Manager Therese Flores with support from Chief Operations Paul Diamore, Borough Commissioner William Castro, Deputy Commissioner Mark Folk, and First Deputy Commissioner Leanne Kavanaugh. Congratulations to you, Donald.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you. I don't know what to say really because I never expected anything like this. But I just look forward to coming to work every day. I get the pleasure of working with a great team of guys, ladies. My supervisors give me all the help I need to make sure that I'm able to do what I need to do. And I just love coming to work. I don't know what more to say.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you again.
Okay, our second Operations Employee of the Month for February is Anthony Pearsall. Anthony is a park supervisor level 2 assigned to the Brooklyn Districts 17 and 18. Anthony directs the day-to-day operations, inspections, and maintenance of his 2 districts. He keeps a close eye on special projects and always meets deadlines. He is responsible for training and supervising both full-time and seasonal employees. Anthony works to ensure proper procedures are followed so his parks are in peak condition. His focus is on guaranteeing that the public can take full advantage of our playgrounds and other facilities. Anthony is a parkie who leads by example. He's often found working alongside his staff as they work toward achieving a common goal. He is a person of extreme patience and always quick to lend a hand. He is well respected by his staff and other colleagues throughout the borough, showing true passion, commitment, and the love for his job. Anthony is a veteran of parks of 35 years. He lives in Queens with his wife Patrice and their children, and one of his favorite things to do is manning the barbecue as much as the weather allows. For his many years of dedicated service, Anthony was nominated by APRM Danielle Goldfarb Bedrick with support from Chief of Operations Jeff Zigadell, Borough Commissioner Marty Marr, Deputy Commissioner Mark Folk, and First Deputy Commissioner Liam Kavanaugh. Anthony, congratulations to you.
Start again. Thank you, Commissioner, for this award. I'd like to thank my Chief of Operations, Jeff Sigadell, my Commissioner, Marty Marr, who I've been around for 20, 30 years, and all my staff. Because without them, I wouldn't be as good as I am. So I want to thank everyone for this award. Good job.
All right, well, again, congratulations to you. We're now going to go to our third Operations Employee of the Month for February, and it goes to Peter Lecknor. Peter is a forest restoration crew supervisor for Forestry, Horticultural, Natural Resources. Peter is a natural leader of FHNR staff who are working in the field. He exhibits a masterful grasp of the ecosystem management techniques and is highly efficient in invasive species management and forestry of natural resources. Peter is always ready to take on different projects. He approaches new responsibilities with a positive attitude and finishes each project with high quality results. In addition to his regular duties involving field work in support of the natural forests across New York City, Peter has informally coordinated the daily activities of 6 other staff, ensuring they can work safely during COVID by being equipped with vehicles, PPE, and a clear plan for each day. At the request of Chief and First Deputy Commissioner Kavanaugh, Peter completed a rapid tree inventory of hundreds of trees in Railroad Park in Queens. He also was instrumental in documenting significant illegal contractor damage to park trees in Pelham Bay Park and Flushing Meadows Corona Park with a detailed inventory and photo set. His work will help parks project its valuable trees and recoup damages to our sensitive natural areas. Peter has a deep passion for the forest, working on restoration projects in New York City and his home state of Wisconsin. He is also highly skilled at harvesting, curing, and preparing wild game. For his positivity and earnestness, Peter was nominated by Director Christy King with support from Assistant Commissioner Jennifer Greenfeld, Deputy Commissioner Mark Folk, and First Deputy Commissioner Liam Kavanaugh. Congratulations to you, Peter.
Hi, thank you everyone. It's been a true pleasure. I've been here 7 years, so I'm not quite up to the 35 mark, but maybe someday. And thank you to all of you for nominating me, and I really appreciate it. And I love coming to work and just making the city greener every day. Thank you so much.
All right, well, congratulations to you. Now we're going to move to the Administration Employee of the Month, and for January, it goes to Denard Harris. Denard is a community coordinator assigned to the Manhattan Storehouse. In his current role, Denard oversees and organizes the extensive stock of supplies for Manhattan. He maintains accurate records of inventory and works closely with his supervisors to actively monitor the supply of goods. Since the beginning of the pandemic, Denard has played a crucial role. He has worked around the clock 7 days a week to ensure that critical personal protective equipment regularly reach out to frontline staff so they can perform their duties safely. Despite the overwhelming amount of work required of Denard in the storehouse, he always makes himself available to assist with the comfort station lockup crew when they are short-staffed. Denard has been a source of support to his fellow colleagues in these challenging times. His co-workers always feel comfortable coming to him for guidance and advice, and with some of them referring to him as the park's therapist. In his free time, Denard is the ultimate movie buff and also loves cars and is a fitness fanatic. Whether in the early morning or long day at work, Denard is always ready to lift some weights. For his strong work ethic, Denard was nominated by Shirley Halbert with support from Chief of Operations Paul Diamore, Borough Commissioner William Castro, and Deputy Commissioner Joy Wang. Denard, congratulations to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the award. I didn't even know what to expect. I definitely didn't expect no award for what I just do. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but one thing I can say is that the commissioners and the chiefs, I work very closely with them and they make my job very easy. So it's definitely not difficult when I get to work with the chiefs and the commissioners as close as I do, and they're very supportive. And they also make my job very easy. Um, I guess that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Denard. Congratulations to you. Now, for the administration employee of the month for February is Robin Jones. Robin is the Assistant Onboarding Coordinator for Workforce Development. In her current role, Robin processes the applications for the incoming POP workers and for employees who have been moving into NYCHA caretaker lines. Her responsibilities include directly assisting applicants as they complete all necessary forms, tracking the status of all hires, and working with personnel to ensure that applications are efficiently and expeditiously processed. Robin is extremely diligent when it comes to handling the confidential information of applicants. She is both proficient and patient when working on cases and always takes the time to answer the questions of clients and coworkers. Robin never loses sight of the human side of human resources, layering compassion in all of her interactions. She prides herself on completing her duties ahead of schedule, no matter how busy the hiring center is that day. Robin is a kind and loving person, and she always has snacks in her drawer so her coworkers never go hungry. When she is not in the office, Robin likes to stay current on world news, and she is extremely close with her family, especially her youngest daughter. For her outstanding work and dedication to parks, Robin was nominated by onboarding manager Dulcie Bello with support from Chief Liza Ehrlich, Assistant Commissioner David Stark, and Deputy Commissioner Joy Rang. Congratulations to you, Robin.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioner Silva, Chief Taylor, Chief Liza, Deputy Chief Jason, and all my co-workers. I appreciate it very much.
Okay, well, thank you, Robin. Thank you. We're now going to go to the capital projects of the month for February, and it goes to Alex Vernon. Alex is a city parks worker assigned to capital operations. Alex's responsibilities include maintaining and cleaning capital projects' 5 citywide field offices, the Umstead Center facility, and the Capitol fleet. It's an incredibly heavy workload, one that Alex takes on with a smile on his face and a can-do attitude. Alex is a friendly individual who is easily approachable and always ready to lend a hand. He frequently goes above and beyond to assist both his coworkers and park patrons. Alex can often be found helping staff with their vehicles and other projects around the building. He is also keen on providing directions to members of the public who are traversing the park. Alex is known for being extremely dependable, and during a recent snowstorm, when trains stopped running, Alex called a cab to make sure he made it to work on time to help shovel the walkways and the building entrances. His dedication allowed the Umstead Center to open safely for his fellow employees. Outside of work, Alex is a dedicated father who enjoys playing video games in his free time. For his reliability and hard work, Alex was nominated by Director Seamus Maloney and with support from Deputy Commissioner Therese Braddock. Congratulations to you, Alex.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm just glad to be here. I wanted to make sure I give a special shout out to Commissioner Braddock for giving me the chance and opportunity as well as Parks. I just love doing what I do at work, and it's fun for me. So, you know, I appreciate the I don't know. I'm nervous right now, so I'm just glad that I'm here. I'm willing to help the parks and make our parks. Thank you, everybody.
Yay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're moving to Public Programs Employee of the Month for February, and it goes to Jonathan Metzelar. John is a communication liaison assigned to the Wildlife Unit. John manages all public-facing aspects of the Wildlife Unit, including 311 correspondence, the Wildlife NYC website, social media content, press articles, tracking, written content, and reports. During COVID-19 pandemic, John was quick to pivot his work to creating a robust online engagement program, collaborating with strategic content to create social media posts for Parks at Home. Along with strategic content, he created the Ask an Expert series on Instagram, where the wildlife unit answered questions about wildlife that they received from the public. Over 775 questions were received and answered. And in 2020, these online engagement efforts generated over 1.8 million impressions over the course of 9 months and were regularly praised by members of the public on social media. John is always happy to help coworkers present their work, and he quickly adopted new technologies for reporting, learning story maps to create more engaging annual report for the wildlife unit, and teaching himself video editing to better collaborate with other team members. John spends his free time hiking, swimming, and reading. He is also interested in statistical baseball analysis. He is an avid Mets fan and has high hopes for them this season, as we do every year. When it comes to the NYC wildlife, his favorite species are raccoons. You are a rare individual if you like raccoons, but John, that's what makes you special. John was nominated for his creativity and commitment by Director Richard Simon, with support from Chief Sarah Oquan, Assistant Commissioner Emily Chase, and Deputy Commissioner Margaret Nelson. Congratulations to you, John.
Hi, all. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say thanks to the agency, to public programs, to Rich, to Sarah. I really appreciate this honor. I also wanted to say thanks to my coworkers with the wildlife unit. Without their hard work and collaboration and support, my job would be impossible. So I share this honor with all of them. It's obviously been a tough year for all of us, but I can honestly say every day I wake up and I get to experience the joy of working for Parks and helping connect New Yorkers with the city that we all call home. So thank you all so much. This is a very generous symbol of recognition, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, congratulations to you, John. Now we're going to move to the Urban Park Service Employee of the Month for February, and his officers, Carlos Cruz and Anthony Valentin. Both officers are assigned to Bronx Pelham Bay Command. On Saturday, February 6th, at approximately 7 p.m., officers Cruz and Valentin were on patrol when they witnessed a car crash atop the Bruckner Expressway just outside Pelham Bay Park. Both officers quickly sprung to action and rushed to the scene to help the driver, who was trapped in the car. While doing so, they requested paramedics and NYPD assistance while securing the area. The driver, a young man, was found unconscious and unresponsive. The officers, in quick response, broke the back window of the vehicle to open the doors and check the young man's pulse. Sadly, he had none. Paramedics rushed to Jacoby Hospital, but he could not be saved. An NYPD investigation into the incident stemmed from a nearby shooting with bullet holes in the windshield and the young man's injury, including multiple gunshot wounds. Despite the unfortunate outcome, officers Cruz and Valentin went above and beyond the call of duty in their attempts to save this young man's life. For their brave and heroic actions, officers Cruz and Valentin were nominated by PEP captains Juan Beiran and Domingo Sanchez, with support from Inspector Asha Harris, Assistant Commissioner Eddie Rodriguez, and Deputy Commissioner Margaret Nelson. Officers, thank you and congratulations to you.
I want to say thank you to Bronx Park, everyone who nominated us. We try to do everything for our best efforts to try to help the individual, and unfortunately the outcome was decided. I want to thank the guidance of Bronx Park, our supervisors, and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, officers. And for the final recognition for the Commissioner's Employee of the Month Award goes to Commissioner Joy Wang. Joy is Deputy Commissioner for Administration and our Chief Administrative Officer. Prior to joining Parks, Joy served in the Mayor's Office of Contracts and the American Museum of Natural History and the Department of Aging. Over the past year, Joy has been a COVID champion for all Parkies, from fighting for vaccine eligibility to procuring personal protective equipment to planning for recovery. She's always 2 steps ahead. This past year brought extraordinary challenges to all of us, and there's no precedent or playbook to navigate through turbulent times as Joy faced every challenge head on. Joy has stayed focused on keeping everyone safe and making sure our agency needs are met. She has kept up with the supply needs and persistent demand for frontline staff, harnessing every resource at her disposal to bolster safety and improve morale. As a steady flow of new citywide policies and protocols have been pushed onto Parks, Joy has advocated for all of us and made sure that they've implemented in a way that benefits our agency. She has brought her hard work to get our staff approved for vaccine, and effective this week, all Parkies are now eligible. Thank you. And her level of care and concern for our staff is truly moving. As we hope to soon return to normalcy, Joy is making sure that Parks is ready. She's already anticipating what's coming up next and planning for the future. Joy lives in Queens with her husband and daughter, and she enjoys baking, hiking, and spending time with her family. On a personal note, I don't know if you know this, but I had a general policy of not giving the Commissioner's Award to a commissioner. I had to break that exception because Joy is just that special. I've got to know her the last couple of years. She has an amazing heart. She fights for staff behind the scenes more than anyone knows. And when I say she's 2 steps ahead, she is. Everything she touches turns to gold, but her level of care throughout her entire tenure, from revamping our storehouses, for making sure staff is safe. While she seems to have a quiet demeanor, the fact of how she fights for staff, whether it's for vaccines or making sure they're protected and having the equipment they need to be safe, it was a marvel to watch. And I'm so honored to break through tradition, to honor someone who is so deserving, not just this month, but the entire time she's been here at Parks. So I want to thank Joy personally. To see you move in action is moving and inspiring. And I just don't think enough of the employees in this agency know what you do behind the scenes to protect all of our employees. And for that reason, your unprecedented work and service is why I'm awarding you this year's Commissioner of the Month. Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you, Commissioner, for this honor. This recognition belongs to many Parkies behind the scenes who stepped up and did what was needed to safeguard our workforce. This past year, I've learned a lot about myself and my colleagues. And under the leadership of Commissioner Silver, I experienced firsthand leadership that manages a long-term, ever-changing, stressful situation with kindness, authority, and inclusiveness. The commissioners, especially Liam, Mark, Margaret, Therese, Crystal, David, Sam, and Alessandro, showed their mettle and the stuff they're made of, and they are smart, dedicated, tough, and caring. Parks is an agency that does not passively wait for guidance. Absent guidance, Parks figures out what to do and moves ahead. And the collective input and priority put on workforce safety on the first day that the WHO announced a pandemic helped the agency put in motion policies and initiatives unique to Parks. And I firmly believe that has made all the difference in the world. Working alongside you makes me better at my job, and it's been an honor. So thank you. And to David Stark, who I relied on, depended on for wise advice and a delightful conversation. I cannot imagine being in the pandemic trenches with anyone else. If you would just humor me, I'd like to share with you a few war stories and all the behind the scenes heroes who did whatever it took, especially in the early days. So what did Parks do differently than other city agencies? Parks and how we manage the pandemic. Park received a DCAS teleworking policy on a Friday afternoon. By Monday morning, teleworking was turned on for 1,500 eligible employees. Shannon Doherty worked with me overnight through a 24-hour period to get the lists out, as well as the teleworking policies. And the commissioners in turn worked a 24-hour period through the weekend to make this all happen by Monday. Regarding PPE, the WHO declared COVID a global pandemic on March 11th. And on March 12th, Parks started meeting on a daily basis to aggressively buy PPE and cleaning supplies. Parks started issuing PPE weeks before the New York State mask mandate, which didn't happen until April 15th, and was able to maintain that steady supply, unlike the news stories that came out during last spring with NYPD, DOHMH, and MTA. DCAS did not take over the PPE supply chain on a consistent basis for the city until June. Pramod, Joe DeQuattro, Dan Doherty, Marcello Plantini, Jason Deo, and our friends at Queens, Jackie, Adriana, Akia, and Christine DeBrow, were the parkies who made sure frontline workers had what they needed. And the early and aggressive purchases, which started a day after the WHO declaration, gave Parks a month head start that carried us when PPE became almost impossible to buy. Again, just to give you a sense of timeline, on March 11th was when the pandemic was declared, and at that point there was no city leave guidance. Parks issued a field staff survey a week later, and the purpose of the survey was to understand what measures we could put in place to support our field staff, because they are human beings with families, while maintaining a key service to the public. Within days, we had 2,400 responses from field staff. And when timing mattered most in these early days, Parks got a week start. Parks started reorganizing operations based on compressed and flexible schedules and changes to reporting locations. Narendra from ERP was the lead on designing the survey, analyzing the results literally overnight, within 16 hours. The chiefs were the front lines in reaching out to individuals about their situations and adjusting the operations. And from this survey, Parks got a lead on our sister agencies by creating our own leave policy. And this allowed us to come up with measures to take care of our most vulnerable workforce during the height of COVID. 1 week after the WHO pandemic announcement, the labor.c19 email was set up, and labor relations, led by Joe Tremble, moved to a 24/7 operation, which has been in place for now over 12 months. And being on that email, I could tell you the early days, it was thousands, and it was literally 24 hours, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. This became the central line to responding to staff and supervisors about COVID policies and guidance, what to do in positive cases, leave policies. And it was all done and led by Joe Tremble with grace and empathy. Through this centralized communication on individual situations as they arise, Parks was able to maintain consistency and deliver the most current information to staff. And that was not enough. As the pandemic progressed, Parks effectively set up our own test and trace operations through labor relations and cluster review sessions to see how we could do better. And we did do better. We continue to improve ourselves in terms of how we can protect our staff throughout the last 12 months. Parks is an agency that recognizes the importance of honoring work and commitment from our staff, even more so in the most challenging times. Parks' ERP team turned iconic buildings green so that all New Yorkers can recognize the role that Parks workers and green spaces play during this pandemic. Creating joyful moments and bringing staff together is more important than ever in tough times. And Parks' ERP team and our talented Parkies gave us that gift in the virtual Parks talent show. The borough commissioners, Iris, Marty, Bill, Linda, Mike, and also Eddie and assistant commissioners Emily Chase and Eddie Rodriguez, and the chiefs recognized the need for respite for our field staff. Risking displeasure from City Hall, the agency decided to leverage the closure of playgrounds to give a week of respite for our field staff which has never been done before. And even though City Hall was very displeased, it was the right thing to do. These are not all the measures. These are just some of the major measures that are unique to parks in our response to the pandemic. And as I learned from Commissioner Silver, these outcomes are not because we did our jobs, but because we care. And I would like to acknowledge Dan Doherty, my amazing chief of staff at my right hand, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes in every initiative coming out of my office. It is not lost on me the commitment and sacrifices he made for parks as a new and young father during this pandemic year. And finally, my deepest appreciation goes to my husband, who support me day in and day out in everything I do. And I often question whatever I did to deserve him. So thank you, everybody, for this honor. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Again, I don't think most people know what happens behind the scenes. And I do remember those early days when we were literally in the conference room every day, planning to make sure what's next. And I'm quite honored for getting in trouble with City Hall, because I agree with you. It was the right thing to do. Staff was nervous at the beginning. If you recall the pandemic, there was just fear across the city, and our staff, they were coming to work. So thank you again, Joe, for your outstanding work, you and your entire team. So now that brings this award ceremony to a close. I would like to thank Juliana Stinson, Joe Harville, Joanna Rustick, Narendra Pramanad, Andrew Mozan, and Maria Sanchez for their hard work in coordinating this morning's ceremony. And to all the winners, congratulations. And I do hope to see you all in the park. Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody.